Look at all the gators. Look around.
Now, this is an old swamp boy, so he's used to this. But this is a congregation of gators in a park after the floods and from the hurricanes. Call halal Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai Bahasham Rakahak Wadash. Double honors into the apostles, double honors into the elder bishops. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so now more so than ever. The 144,000 and the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird, the Israelite foreigners among the heathen that look like those heathen. This is not a black thing. And to the few Akwath that are listening and learning, to you I say shalom. This is your brother Malcolm from the branch of the Great Millstone here in Chicago, coming at you another lesson in truth. In the reality, we're living in the last moments of the last days, and the Lord is visiting the earth which he made. And I've been sitting on a bunch of articles that I've been collecting and gathering up. I need to delete all this out of my phone so I can have room for more content and information and stuff. But we're gonna, Lord's will, I'm gonna, do this quick lesson on the state of the earth under the judgment of the inhabitants thereof. All right, and what am I looking? Oh yeah, 2nd Ezra 9. All right, and this is 2nd Ezra 9, 1 through 5, and it reads, He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then thou shalt well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world have a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. All right, even so the times also the highest have plain beginnings in wonders and powerful works and endings in effects and signs. And in those signs, Esau Edom is being exposed to the max. That's where they have puppets like Vocab Malone, who tried to doctor up and change the world. Dr. James White, the Edomite, Dr. Brown, they try they typically didn't really mess with prophecy too much, and now they're trying to dabble in it and they're messing it all up, and you can't make prophecy make sense with everyone being a part of it, because big part of prophecy is the house of David ruling. You can't make the house of David other nations, so they got a problem. But the world is just so upside down, and now you also have the fact that the common everyday citizen is becoming aware of the fact that, yes, the United States government is the most evil government that has ever existed. Well, all the time while claiming to be Christians. All right. And do I have to play the video with the rabbis? No, I'm going to keep bombing them with that video until let me choose my words. I'm going to keep laying that video on them, because I want to take that sound bite and make it, how crooked, devilish Esau Edom is. All right. But I'm going to keep hitting them with that video until they take it down. All right. With those groups of rabbis, it's just a collage of rabbis letting you know that that America is Rome and Edom. All over again is an extension of the Roman Empire, which is ruled over by Edom. That the American white Christianity is indeed Esau. Vocab Malone. He's still never going to open his mouth to speak on that. He's not going to speak against the rabbis. Right? They can do whatever they want. and violate the Bibles and the scriptures and the prophecies, and lie about them and don't measure up to them. But vocab, Dr. White nor Dr. Brown will open their mouth to it all. Matter of fact, I think Dr. Brown is a Ashkenazi, small hat. But Americans and people of the world are very aware that America does indeed have the capability of controlling weather, that they're able to make earthquakes. And it has to make you think and go back and think all these earthquakes that have hit all these third world countries and all these countries that America has been at odds with, that didn't want to get along with. Thousands, tens of thousands of people have died. Could it be researched and proven that that America had a hand in that? It was a big earthquake in Turkey a couple years ago. I think like 30 or 40,000 people died or something like that. So it's just everything is suspect now. But let's go to these articles that I've been sitting on. And we'll just start going through them and start going down. So I got it kind of marked. Where am I? And looking at these animals, let's start with this one. This was October 2nd. So what are we, like the 13th now? So this was October 2nd on Newsbreak. And Newsbreak doesn't give you a break. That app came on this phone, and every day it's just looking at Newsbreak will let you know that we're in the end of days. Real talk. But it says zookeeper mauled to death by a lion in front of horrified visitors after a crucial mistake. And I'm not gonna and it's showing you a black woman, so I'm not gonna click on or she could have been Indian. Lion-hearted Babi Dali, 35, was killed while after he left the gate open as he was feeding the lion, And I'm not going to click on each story. I'm just going through them, all right? And the scriptures talk about the teeth to tear. You're looking at an army of teeth to tear right here. Beast. There be spirits created for vengeance. That's in Sirach, I believe. All right. Next Newsbreak story. Woman raped inside toilets at Tesco supermarket. All right. Independent. Also from Newsbreak. I think these are all Newsbreak. Woman raped inside of toilets at Tesco supermarket. Was reportedly raped inside the supermarket toilet cubicle as Tesco supermarket detectives. Well, then it cut off, so I guess I got to click this one just to read a little bit more. At the toilets at the shop at Bridge Road, Sheerness in Kent on October 1st between 1:37 and 2:19. So he went at it for a while. He went at her for a while. All right. So and so this means there's people just in there shopping and buying food, and this woman is in the stall getting clapped against her will. Hey, come on, man. I got away from. Here we go. Click one thing wrong and it take you. Oh, it took me to the bottom. Salakia. Took me to the bottom of my list. All right. Here, also a Newsbreak. Who are you fucking? Man tells ex-girlfriend. Your life will end tonight. Beats her in terrifying attack after accusing her of cheating. Police source law and crime. And this looked like a light-skinned version of what's my man name? The singer, the crooner from the 90s that was real popular, 90s and early 2000s. Maxwell, because I think Maxwell, one of his parents is an Ephraimite. I don't know if it's his mother, his father, but he looks like the light-skinned version of Maxwell, right? Florida man forced his way into apartment of an ex-girlfriend he had brief relationship with and beat her to death. Damn, we gonna put his face up. This. All right, that guy right there, Northern Kingdom dude. So tat on his forehead, tat under his eye, look like a teardrop, tats all on his neck. Yeah, she chose wisely, and he was just one of hundreds. I'm sure she's had hundreds of husbands, and that was the one that ended her. Twin babies who died alongside their mother in Georgia. Our youngest known hurricane victims. All right, twin babies who died alongside their mother. Georgia father Obie Williams spent every morning looking forward to the daily phone call from his daughter. All right. Okay. And, well, I don't know much about it. I didn't open the story. But there they is. There they is. There they are. Okay. And I wondered, and I couldn't help but think, but where was the father at, It says, Georgia father Obie Williams spent every morning looking forward to the daily phone call from his daughter, but their last conversation was fraught with fear as Kobe Williams, 27, told her father that she and her newborn twins were hunkering down along at their trailer home in Thompson as Hurricane Helene ripped through the southeast. Before hanging up to check on his other kids, he urged her to shelter in the bathroom with her month-old babies until the storm passed. Minutes later, she was no longer answering her family's call. All right. One of her brothers dodged fallen trees and down power lines to check on her that day, and he could barely bear to tell his father what he saw. A tree had fallen through the roof, crushing Kobe and causing her to fall on top of the infant. Soon, Kazir and Casimir, all three were found dead. All right. So there be spirits created for vengeance, storms, and the Lord took her out, and them two little kids, Kazir and their names don't even make sense. See, names have power in them. All right. And I'm willing to bet that the father had nothing to do with the naming of these children, because he probably wasn't even with her. More than likely, it's probably just a one-night stand or a freak off in the club somewhere. Who knows? All right, but that's often the case. I've seen pictures when they were born and pictures every day, but I hadn't made it out there yet to meet them, and which is sad for the father. All right. And the Associate Press days after the storm ravaged eastern Georgia. Now I'll never get to meet my grandsons. It's devastating. Well, the Lord called them back, man. That, like the scripture says, whoever died being innocent with a question mark. Basically, the Lord is telling you no one. So unfortunately, those babies paid for something that they did their last go around. All right. As a matter of fact, now that I said it, it'll be someone new who will have a problem with that. So let's just go to the scripture to prove it. All right. This is 2 Ezra 14. And 35. And it reads, for after death shall the judgment come, when we shall live again. And then shall the names of the righteous be manifest, and the works of the ungodly be declared. So when they came back into this world, their ungodly works were declared from the last time, and the Lord, this is what the Lord did. All right. It said, let no man therefore come unto me now. Matter of fact, let me go back to 34. Therefore, if so be it that ye will subdue your own understanding, all right, because that's the one thing is Christianity's fault, as the rabbis say, right? Christian Edomite Christianity, because that's basically what they call it. That we weren't taught the fact that, that we live again, that every child is a spirit coming back. All right. And that you pay for the sins of your last life when you come back. All right. That the place of judgment plays out here on earth. Your spirit goes back to the Lord. You're judged. You don't go and sit in heaven and float on clouds. You don't go in hell and burn forever. That's all lies and conjecture, made up bullshit. All right. That's not scriptural. All right, the meaning of hell has been completely twisted and like murky water that these alligators are swimming in. All right. you go before the throne, you get judged, and then when it's your time, the Lord sends you back, put your spirit in a new life. You're born into this world, and then your life is played out. It says, and ye shall be kept alive, and after death ye shall obtain mercy. All right, so if you are going to obtain mercy after death, that means when you shall live again. For after death shall the judgment come, when we shall live again. It's really simple, man. That's straight out the Bible, man. Straight out the Bible. And you remember when the Lord told the disciples that John the Baptist was Elias? He was, there you go. And when you ask John, he was, because the Lord also tells you have no memories of your former lives. Man, this life alone is hard enough, dealing with memories and things we have to go through. There's no way on this earth that you could live dealing with the issues of this life and having the memories of all the trauma from your last life or lives every time. All right, and then Esau kind of hinted at this fact in movies too, but I don't want to get too far off track and go into the whole regeneration, reincarnation thing, which is the same thing, because somebody will fix these dumbass lips to well, there's no reincarnation. It's regeneration. It's the same thing, idiot, moron. As the bishop would say, moron. All right, let's go back to those articles. So where are we now? We're at this one. Oh man, I guess I might end up reading that one about the teeth to tear. It's a lot of death and destruction and memes here. All right. Here we go. Just got to what we were talking about. After the Georgia moms, yes, there are currently swarms of alligators hunting for food by swimming in residential streets of Florida. So this is in Georgia on the screen. The one that I'm looking at on the phone is in Georgia. In Florida. Yes, there are currently swarms of alligators. Breaking news and featuring the local alerts. And you got to think, too, with all the bodies in the water, which they've lied about, it's not hundreds. It's not 100. The deaths the total at 17, when there's 163 children missing from places near Asheville. All right, when they found hundreds of bodies floating in the rivers like these alligators. What you think brought them into the rivers? So imagine how terrifying it is, for the average person who's not used to gators, around gators, to be on a boat floating down the river, and all of a sudden you hit a thump, and all it takes is for one of them big ones to buck up against the boat, and you in the water. You fly into that water, and you know what's gonna happen to you. All right, you're gonna be torn to pieces within moments, man. All right, you fall into that water, that's your ass. All right, there'll be the crawfish will be eating the bits and pieces of you that fall to the bottom. All right, but let's keep it going. I put this in here for a reason. I have no idea what it is. This is an Instagram, TikTok. So let's see what it is. But it didn't take me to it. It took me to some sexy bimbo. So that's not what it's supposed to be. Let's see if it does it. Oh, there it is. Oh, okay.
Well, with me, I think something's going on. So I decided to do some digging. So the first thing I find out is North Carolina has the richest deposits of lithium in the entire world. Yeah, lithium for like cars, batteries, all that. Then I find out they have the world's highest purity quartz deposits. And that quartz just so happens to be the world's supply for AI chips, microchips, and all kinds of stuff. We're talking a $530 billion industry. So this is where it gets interesting. So a company by the name of Piedmont Lithium is awaiting a state mining permit for a site in northern Gaston County. And Gaston County is completely flooded right now. The project was awaiting zoning approval because they were getting backlash from the residents and also city officials. And this lithium mine they want would be the third largest producer of lithium in the world. And they made a deal with Tesla already. Now remember the quartz? So in Spruce Pine, North Carolina, right next to Ashland, they are wanting to expand their mines even larger. And the residents aren't having it either. Enter the floods. People, these are mountain towns. It rarely, if not ever, floods in the mountains. would know, I grew up in the mountains in Colorado, which means none of these people have flood insurance. I mean, the media is saying biblical devastation in North Carolina. This flooding in
and
North
that's
Carolina.
exactly what it was. All right, and then it turns out, too that the vice president's husband is brokering. One of the people's going to broker that whole thing, along with BlackRock and Vanguard. Something that he has something to do with the contracts of the mining of the deals that were signed before the hurricanes hit, before the floods destroyed those areas, because they found that lithium in that quartz. All right, and but the mainstream media, nobody's touching that. All right, and that the people in those towns where these gators are swimming around in those areas refuse to sell their land. Well, not down here low. These floods are down low in the swamp areas, but up in those mountains, while those, because this is runoff from up there. All right, but nevertheless, it doesn't flood up in the mountains, and yet it flooded in mountain towns. All right, and that's what, and they want that land, and they're, and we all know about at this point, everyone knows about the lack of aid that's coming to them. All right, and as a result of it, they lots of people have died, way more than hundreds, and it from what information that I've heard is that this was worse than Katrina, and that there were bodies in the trees just like in Katrina. All right, and bodies in drains, bodies floating down the rivers, just as many as you see these gators just floating, dead bodies, animals, cows, horses, dogs, goats, sheep, pigs, whatever. They're just dead bodies everywhere, man. The stench of death. All right, as we continue, this is from the New York Post. Wow, I had sex with 480 people this year, but I'm very picky. I make men fill out an application. Wow, this is crazy. Okay, so I have to put this on the screen. Here. It's because he's trying to get to a certain number. I think he's trying to get to 500 a year. So, wow. Okay, so I'm gonna read it now. I just had to show that to you. That's nuts, boy. Content creator dubbed Australia's most sexually active woman is on a mission to sleep with 600 people in 2024, but she isn't letting just anyone in her bedroom any night. And this is a straight up white woman too. And it's sad because I'm looking at her and she's actually physically attractive, but she's spiritually disgusting. All right. It says Annie Knight had first made headlines last year after declaring that she had sex with 300 people in 2023. So I guess she wanted to double it. After achieving that goal, so I'm imagining he's already, so within 2 years, she's already damn near at 1,000, man. So imagine how many before that when she wasn't keeping record, So that means 10, 15, 20 here, 30 here. Wow. And eventually, and she's young, so eventually someone's gonna marry her. And attempt, and I know that she's been sleeping with that many people. She hasn't always used protection. I refuse to believe that. A lot of people have. I can only imagine the amount of DNAs that are attached to her brainstem, that are attached. They remember the DNA of a man stays on a woman her entire life, and the state of this woman is basically the state of America. In comparison, they're one and the same, or the Western world in general, which allows this. I forget the warlord who made that statement about the way to destroy a nation. He said something about sexualizing their women, letting their women be over-sexualized and promiscuous, and something about and messing with their food or something. All right, but it says after achieving a goal, the amorous Aussie upped the ante in 2004, setting her sights on sleeping with 600 people before December 31st. But the ambitious new number hasn't led to a drop. So that means it's only 365 days in a year, and she's already at what number is she at again? 480. So I mean, she slept with multiple people in the same day, and she's probably been tag team and gangbanged a few times. So Yeah, the imagination can run wild with that one. We'll just leave that alone. All right. Mexican president goes full anti-Semite. The U.S. is controlled by the Jewish mafia. Wow. So, and that would really get a lot of people upset, and he definitely be referred to as an anti-Semite for saying that. But I just find it ironic that the Jerusalem Post last week put out an article proudly boasting about, how the Jewish, boasting about the 50 most influential Jews that rule the world, that control everything. And so when this guy says it, he's an anti-Semite. But when the Jerusalem Post says it, it's okay because they're glorifying that they do it. But if anyone mentions it, then you're labeled an anti-Semite. So that's a double standard, in my book. Woman died of heart attack. This is also back in the what is this one from? Oh, The Independent. Woman died of heart attack caused by stranger repeatedly raping her. Court told. Damn. Natalie Schotter was found. Because see, I just was saving these and just keeping it moving. So I'm going back. Now I know why I saved it. Natalie Schotter was found dead on a park bench in West London on July 20th, 2021. So this, man, wow. So I guess it just hit court. That's why they're talking about it now. But a woman died of a heart attack when she was raped repeatedly by a stranger who had been, God damn it. Somebody set off the alarm. Somebody must be back there burning up the kitchen. It says, repeatedly, Salakia. A woman died from a heart attack when she was raped repeatedly by a stranger who had been seeking out vulnerable women. And the court had been told Natalie Schotter, 37, had been on a night out enjoying herself, the woman, all that independent woman, before she was sexually assaulted and killed on a park bench while unconscious. Jurors have said, wow, why would you be? So Mohammed Liddell, 35, is on trial accused of rape and manslaughter in South. So I guess he wasn't trying to kill her. He was just trying to, he just trying to clap. And he was raping her again and again. And during this, she had a heart attack. All right. It says, what was the defendant doing there? What was he seeking to do? Walking up and down the paths in the middle of the night, thinking about objectives. Must have been seeking a vulnerable woman to rape. Well, what woman would be walking through after a night of drinking, walking through parks by herself? I mean, come on, man. CCC, because that's closed circuit TV footage, was shown of Mrs. Schotter sitting on the bench with a different man when the prosecution say the defendant walked up past, looked at them shortly before he allegedly attacked. All right. Mr. Schotter was lying down, showing no clear movement. So I guess the other man shot his shot, and I guess, I don't know, or maybe they exchanged information and he kept it moving. But when this dude saw that she was alone, he came back and attacked her and started clapping her up, and she actually ceased to exist. The spirit left her while she was getting clapped against her will. That's a pretty bad, sad story. All right, here's a meme. All right, you see the long arm of Biden sending money over to Zelensky while the hurricane victims are drowning. All right, okay. Sorry, out of money, can't help. Good luck. All right, waiting for the Gators to come get him. Hey, dead men don't tell secrets. All right, don't speak. Another meme. Fed said, this is another meme. Fed said they're out of money left to respond to the hurricanes after FEMA used $640.9 million this year on migrants. Wow. It's pretty bad, man. All right. Here, a woman 29 who dumped her fiance just weeks before the wedding revealed she married her maid of honor instead. Wow. Well, let's put them on blast. We won't go too much, but you know how the scripture says that women left the use of a woman, even women, in natural use. So, waste of women. It was a surreal and confusing moment. Yeah, well, I say. Well, you know what, dude? You dodged a bullet, man. She did you a favor. I care for Harry, and I always wanted to be a bride, to have a special day where everyone could see that I have been chosen, Kayla recalled. So, you know, you and your wife are going to get, get visited by 100 Muhammads, like in the past story with the Muhammad, went and saw the chick sitting on a bench, went over there and took them cheeks. Yeah, that's going to be. And her husband, her husband wife, kind of looks manly anyway. All right. Because Kayla not that bad at all, but her husband wife, yeah. But yeah, so you did that over a man. So you rather get scissors than sausage. Okay. All right. Well, to each his own, man. Let's go back to the articles. Because I want to wrap this up and just bring out a couple scriptures here. Matter of fact, that's enough. It keeps going on. No, you know what? It was. Hold on. Pedophile paid some euros, kissed, and then raped girl 13. We got to put his face on. This piece of shit right here. All right. And the sad thing is that this little girl was down for the payment to get the kiss. So, she wasn't completely, she's not stupid. And so he went further that and took more than a kiss. But, she made a stupid, childish decision and paid for it. And this happened in Chicago. Victim shoots back in attempted robbery. Video shows a car in Fulton Market District on fire. This crazy. So the gunfight in Chicago in the Fulton District, which is what all rich hipsters hang out. All right. And gunfight broke out between the victim and the people that tried to rob him. And next thing you know, you got a movie fire, calm fire here. But look, let's get a couple scriptures and wrap this up, man. This is Isaiah 28:2, and it reads, "Behold, the Lord have a mighty and strong one, which is a tempest and hail and destroying storm. All right. As a flood of mighty waters overflowing shall cast down on earth with his hand." So the Lord is jacking this place up, man. All right. And his spirit is of judgment is moving upon this place. Let's go to Wisdom of Solomon. This is Wisdom of Solomon 5:20. And it reads, "His severe wrath shall be sharpened for a sword, and the world shall fight with him against the unwise. Then shall the right aim," is actually where I wanted to start. "Then shall the right aiming thunderbolts go abroad, and from the cloud and from a well-drawn bow shall fly to the mark, and hailstones full of wrath shall be cast as a stone of the bow, and the water and the sea shall rage against them, and the floods shall cruelly drown them. Yeah, a mighty wind shall stand up against them, like a storm shall the bow blow them away. Thus the iniquity shall lay waste to the whole earth, and ill dealing shall overthrow the thrones of the mighty." So all these governments, small and great, are going to be brought down with the great violence upon the return of the Lord. All right. He's going to use the ICBMs and turn them into his own personal weapons. The chariots are going to be shooting fire. He's going to use actual storms that he creates to come for you. It's just going to, when them things hit, it's going to cause tidal waves, tsunamis, earthquakes. Man. Hey, so with that, I'm going to give all praises, all honor and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rakakwadash, Kwam, Yasharala, Abba, Babal.